Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'd like to update my recent life. I'm still working in Hebei, China. I'm still working in Tangshan. I'm still working in Hebei. A lot of people don't know about Hebei. Well, Hebei is. I Let me tell you, Hebei is in China and it's close to Beijing. I went to Japan in February this year and I really enjoyed my time in Japan. So I'm planning to go to Japan again in July. I will go to Japan again in July. I am checking the flight airplane ticket price. The price is more expensive than I think. And also I'm planning to go back to Zhejiang. I will not take a air flight to Zhejiang. I will take a train. But it's really hard to buy train ticket from here to Zhejiang. So I have to go to Shanghai first because it's easier to buy train ticket from here to Shanghai. After I be in Shanghai, I will go to Zhejiang from Shanghai. Um, and I have to wait for a few months. Today is March. Today is still March, so I have to wait for another few months before I can go to Japan in July. And I'm planning to go to Zhejiang in May. So that's a national holiday of China in the 1st of May, and people have 5 days off. Maybe I will have 8 days off. It depends on my school schedule. Maybe I will have 8 days off in the uh, in the 1st of May. Most of the people they will only have 5 days off, but I think I was checking with my school schedule. Maybe I will have eight days off. So if I have 8 days off, I will definitely go to Zhejiang. I'm not going to stay here, and I will go to Shanghai first. Uh, Before I go to Zhejiang because it's easier to buy ticket from here to Shanghai. I don't go to Japan. I don't go to Japan in the 1st of May, which is a national holiday, because the airplane ticket is so expensive. Because everyone has 5 days off. Most of the people have 5 days off. So there are a lot of people wanting to go to Japan on the 1st of April. So the airplane ticket from China, from Shanghai to Japan, from China to Japan is super expensive. So I decided to not go to Japan on the 1st of May. Instead of going to Japan, I will go to Zhejiang. And I plan to go to Japan in July. So I have to wait for another 4 months because in July I have 2 months holiday. I have 60 days off. So I plan to go to Japan in July. And I go to Japan in July because I have 60 days off. Also because the flight ticket will be cheaper because not everyone has a holiday in July. So the flight ticket is cheaper in July. And I can stay in Japan for 1 or 2 months, for at least for 1 month in Japan in July. So I'm gonna meet my friends in Japan. I'm going to meet some people in Japan. I am talking to some people on my phone right now, and I plan to see them in Japan because I want to get a Japanese girlfriend. It is really hard to get a Japanese girlfriend in China, especially in Hebei, in Tangshan. It's easier to get a Japanese girlfriend in Shanghai because there are many Japanese people in Shanghai. But in Tangshan, in Hebei, there's no Japanese at all. So it's really hard for me to meet any Japanese or any foreigners in Hebei, in my current location. So currently I'm talking to Japanese on the phone, and I will go to see them when I have long holiday, when I have holiday in July. So I haven't given up my goal of marrying Japanese. I still want to marry Japanese, but it's just really hard for me to marry them right now because my current location is not in big city in China. It's not in Shanghai. I moved here from last year for work. I was in Shanghai from 2019 to 2023 July. So I stayed in Shanghai for 4 years and I met some Japanese people. It's easier to meet Japanese people in Shanghai. But now I find it's really hard for me to meet Japanese here in the current place. So I have to talk to Japanese on the phone and go to see them in the holiday, which really sucks. I don't know if I can stay. I don't know how long I will stay here. I like this. I think the school is okay, lah, but it's just the location is really bad. I don't have a chance to meet international friends. I don't have a chance to meet Japanese. My future wife here. It's hard for me to meet my future wife to meet a Japanese woman here. So I think, but I really want to marry Japanese. So I think maybe I will go to work in another city in the future. I will try to talk to Japanese on the phone and meet them in the holiday, and see if I can marry a Japanese woman. Yeah, who knows? Mm, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'm currently in China. I'm working in China. Another reason I don't really like here is the air pollution is so bad. Every day I check the air quality index website, and the air quality here is so bad. So I really miss Shanghai. I really want to go to Japan because Shanghai has better air quality. But Tangshan, Hebei is famous for air pollution. It's one of the worst locations, one of the worst areas in China in terms of air quality. So I really don't like here much. I really don't like location here. I can't meet any Japanese. I also don't like the air pollution here. I spend a lot of time inside of the apartment with myself, but I can't live here right now because first reason is I signed the contract because I need to make sure my resume looks good. I need to have like a stable working experience, like a 2 or 3 years working experience on my resume. If I live here, just stay here for 1 year. If I live here right now, it makes my resume look so bad because I don't have long time working experience history on my resume. So I need to stay here for at least for 2 years or 3 years. And I need to have this 2 years or 3 years working experience on my resume before I go to other school, before I move to other location. So that is the reason I'm still working here. Another reason that I don't want to leave is the school is okay. I feel more relaxed. My work schedule is balanced, and the school management is okay. My workload is balanced. It's balanced here. That's yeah. So I decided to stay here for 2 or 3 years, maybe 3 years. So I decided to stay here for 2 or 3 years before I move to other locations, before I move to other cities in China, or before I move to other cities in Japan, or before I move to Japan. So I will stay here for 2 or 3 years before I move to other places. I want to move to other places because also that's another reason that I want to move to other places. Apart from I don't have a chance to meet Japanese and I don't like air pollution here. That's another reason that I want to move to other place. That is I don't really like my salary here is better than my salary before in Shanghai, but it's still not the best. It still doesn't meet my expectation. So I want to work here for 2 or 3 years. After I get 2 or 3 years working experience here, I will move to other places. Maybe I will move to other places. And by that time, I will ask for more salary. So that is my current update of my life. If you have any questions, please ask me. I work in China. I like Japan. If you have any questions about China, you can ask me lah. See you. Bye bye, guys.